In just 10 minutes, I'm going to cover my entire architecture degree. I'll skip the general classes. FYI, my degree is actually a master's in landscape architecture, but they're basically the same until grad school. So let's start. Architects are building designers who work in either 2 or 3D. That's why we use AutoCAD, a program made by Autodesk that allows you to draft and model. Viewing is done from a point called the camera or perspective. The perspective can be set to different projections or using the view cube orientations. Layers are used to organize shapes and assign properties like color or stroke. External references, or XREFs, can be used to trace. Once your drawing or model is complete, switch to layout space to print, set dimensions, use pen styles, and add a title block. Unlike a drafting tool, Adobe's Illustrator is a drawing tool. Why do we have multiple programs for the same thing? Illustrator makes adding color and textures easy. Its tools like the pen and live paint bucket speed up workflows. Its artboards are similar to AutoCAD's layouts, mimicking what paper looks like when printed. Choosing a color mode slightly changes your colors. This is because color on screens adds to white, while print adds to black. You can also customize the UI to suit your needs. Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, gave us the ziggurat at Ur around 2100 BCE, built by the Sumerians. The pyramids at Giza demonstrate Egyptian mastery over engineering. The Greek Parthenon is renowned for its details like entasis. Related is the Roman Pantheon. Emperor Hadrian commissioned it to be a temple to all Roman gods. Angkor Wat is a Buddhist temple that was originally dedicated to the Hindu god Vishnu. Designed by Michelangelo and Gian Lorenzo Bernini, St. Peter's Basilica was completed in 1626. It's a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture, known for its dome. The Florence Cathedral showcased the city's engineering achievement. In India, Emperor Shah Jahan had a Mughal mausoleum built for his wife Mumtaz Mahal. In Barcelona, Spain, Gaudi dedicated 40 years to a Gothic and Art Nouveau masterpiece named La Sagrada Familia. We experience architecture through our senses. Make time to notice how different spaces make you feel. Different schools have different approaches. FIU's was concept-driven. Inspiration for an idea can come from existing projects called precedents or anywhere. With an idea, one can iterate their way through a project. Working with different mediums like physical models can unlock different perspectives. This model focused on the concept of compression with varied voids and suspended volumes. When you're at a loss for what to design, just go anarchist and pull order out of chaos. Pulling these polygons out of their parent forms a void in relationship. Grids, circulation, and programming can inform each other. Thresholds are implied boundaries. Symmetry is often the lack of a decision. Design in section, not just plan. Research common proportions and account for furniture. How is architecture related to art? A project can be thought of as a series of components. The component systems can be abstracted and conveyed in diagrams. Now, try designing from an existing site. Does the building relate to its context or does it contrast distinctly? Views can be framed. These are called moments. At this point, your physical models are taking longer to build. To work efficiently, leverage laser cutters or 3D printers, converting AutoCAD or Illustrator files to physical model components. Remember, presentation matters. One must perfect speech and dress as well as design and drawing. You've probably cut your finger by now. This is a rite of passage to becoming an architect, at least that's what my professor told me, but he was also upset since I got blood on the class model. Not all building users are like you. Designed for everyone, the ADA.gov website has essential standards and building codes can be found on municode.com. Every drawing should have a north arrow, scale bar, and title block. Materials have different properties like temperature and transparency. This project created a hierarchy of 2D shape modules. In 3D, these are called voxels. Learn existing systems for designing all parts of a building, from walls to roofs to lead principles for sustainability. These can be found in the book. Photoshop's raster editing offers pixel-level control, unlike vector editors like AutoCAD or Illustrator. Meaning, Photoshop's graphics can't be scaled without losing resolution. Photoshop layers have masks, styles, and effects. Brushes can be used to paint, erase, burn, and dodge. Color can be selected with an eyedropper, and you know what else has an eye in it? AI. Load through a building is dispersed mathematically. It can be calculated by mixing trigonometry and physics. Basically, take a force and calculate the triangles that force will disperse through. Trusses are a great construct for directing load. By the graduate level, you can focus design to a topic like landscapes or structures. Each project has a list of not only materials, but plans. This coastal project had a focus on climate change. Climate change will potentially damage our coasts today. It's important to know that storm surge is bigger waves and sea level rise is a higher water level at rest. Golf courses require a lot of maintenance and pesticides. The runoff from them causes algal blooms. Because of these issues, we were asked to redesign a golf course as a public park. This is a good scale to implement landmarks and obelisks to do wayfinding. Now, a massive shift in scale. Redesign a city to resist sea level rise. Many coastal cities are actually broken with a few feet of sea level rise. Designing a city to be resilient involves analysis and zoning. The design should have macro and micro strategies. You could use permeable hardscapes, elevated transportation, and housing. Parametricism is useful for managing the amount of work that comes from this scale. Glass was historically significant in this site, so the partie and design restated this story. Inefficient space planning can lead to unused land. Small can be more attractive than big spaces. Even though you've gained some skills, stay humble. Consider developing a personal style. I had an interest in gradients, so these can be found in many of my projects. Also, the world of fractals is interesting. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon are a reminder of Queen Amethyst's homeland. The Palace of Versailles symbolized the power and wealth of the French monarchy. Frederick Law Olmsted designed Central Park to have natural landscapes with rolling hills. The 20th century saw a growing awareness of sustainability. This led to the rise of the USA's Environmental Protection Agency and a preference for native plants. One can use InDesign to package all of their drawings into documents like PDFs or books. South Florida is home to these diverse biomes, each with unique fauna and flora. Rhino is another 3D modeling tool. It gives you more shape control, uses NURBS, can render and animate. Grasshopper used to be a Rhino extension, except it was recently incorporated into Rhino. Grasshopper allows one to use visual scripting to create algorithms that make designs. These algorithms have inputs called parameters, which is where parametricism comes from. Inventory displays data while analysis overlaps inventories to draw conclusions. Drawing isn't limited to pencil. Anything can be used to draw. Lines can be diverse. When drawing, perfectionism is the most common obstacle for beginners. Initially, don't care about the quality and put in the hours to see improvement. We can draw better when we learn to see values, proportion, and relative colors more accurately. Colors are comprised of hue, saturation, and value. Knowing the biomes of your region, you can create a proposal that repairs the environment your grandparents ruined. Grading uses trigonometry to design ground elevation that directs water flow. Use spot elevation measurements to create section drawings and 3D models. A construction document set is the document submitted to get a project built. The set has a title page, a survey, architect's drawings, engineer's drawings, landscape plan, tree disposition, irrigation, lighting, hardscape plan, as well as construction details. A portion of design manifests from opinions on how things ought to look. American front lawns stem from opulent European gardens. The lawns have lost their meaning, but people still insist on keeping them. Different ideas have been tested, like the building being separate from the environment, or a part of it. These experiments aggregate to movements. Some notable movements are classical, Romanesque, Gothic, Renaissance, Brutalism, Art Nouveau, Deconstructivism, Modernism, and Postmodernism. We are currently deciding what is after postmodernism. Common sense research concepts like witnesses having biased stories or documents can be altered. GIS is a program that is like Google Maps, but with data layers you can add for diagrams. Typically, data can be found on government websites. Revit is a building information modeling or BIM program. The idea being, building components inherently have metadata and can be given more metadata to work efficiently. Other software of interest includes ZBrush, Lumion, Unreal Engine, Blender, Maya, and Omniverse. This class is learning details for constructing outside things. Again, just get the book and use it as a reference. Studying another country gives a new perspective and allows you to buy college credits. In Paris, the River Seine is historically significant. The Centre Pompidou is an inside-out building. Parc de la Villette is a park with several follies. Villa Savoie by Le Corbusier demonstrates his 5 points of modernism. The Louvre was criticized for being a museum entry in the middle of a courtyard, but became widely acclaimed as a success of blending contemporary with historic. This class allows one to do research to inform the thesis project. I visited my site in Manhattan and did an analysis of 20 sci-fi films. This research led me to transhumanism, which changed my worldview. In the final studio, there's no new content to grasp. It's about merging all your skills into one ultimate project. This is what a resume and business card looks like. When you've finished your entire 10 minutes, you then go on to join a prestigious penguin party. So that's everything I learned in architecture school. I'm really happy I got this video out because I want education to be accessible. I'm thinking of making more videos about NVIDIA software, my research, and startup vlogs. So comment what videos you'd like to see. If we hit a milestone, I might even make my parents cry by burning my degree. They'll love that. Okay, bye.